Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day so far. My name is Rudo and I am a YouTuber / booktuber who reviews African literature. So each and every single week I have a different book which I review from a different African country by a different author. And for today, I am going to be reviewing a chapbook. So for those who don't know what a chapbook is, it's a short collection of writing which is about more or less 40 pages. And today I'm going to be reviewing The Rivers We Cry, which is a chapbook by Nyakubaya-Nhevera, who is a Zimbabwean poet, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. So let's get into the video. So I'm going to read the bio first because I think it's very important to have a background of the author so that you know a little more about them. I don't know if I'm the only person who does this, but after I watch a movie or if I read a great book, I make sure I stalk the author or the actor. I just want to know more about them. So I'm just going to read Sue's bio. Sue Nyakubaya-Nhevera is a Zimbabwean-born writer, blogger, and poet. Her work has been featured in Zimbalicious anthologies 3 and 4, as well as several websites. When she's not writing for a blog, she enjoys reading, cooking, and spending time with her family. She's also very passionate about equality in all its forms. So that's a bit about Sue. I'm pretty sure if you go on the platforms, I'll try and leave your social handles below so that you guys can actually get to know more about her and talk to her. And this book, I found it to be very interesting. First of all, I think the word chapbook is very cute. I don't know why, but I think it's a very cute book. And the book, it has about less than 20 poems, and they're all divided into 3 sections. So there's Rivers We Cry from the Heart, and then there's Rivers We Cry from the Soul, and then Rivers We Cry from a Filial Bond. So from each chapter, I'm just going to read one of my favorites from each chapter because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I tend to get carried away, so I'm just trying to just talk a bit less than usual. My favorite from the first chapter, which is Rivers We Cry from the Heart, is called Him, and this is more about a failed relationship. I wouldn't say failed, but more of an expired relationship. And I'll go on and read it. So it says, "The universe has rewarded me, finally. He was perfect, the yin to my yang. He just knew me. I didn't have to cry, and when he asked, it couldn't have been more perfect. He was mine, and I his to conquer. We were in sync, together. There was no him or I, just us, until there wasn't." So I would say this is more of an expired relationship because I personally believe that people are in your life for a season. Not everyone is there to stay forever, but I think it's a good thing to actually appreciate the good things which you would have experienced with people, be it in dating or any kind of relationship. So I think this is for me personally, this is what I kind of understood from it, and it kind of spoke to me, because I think most of us have relationships which we wanted to work but they did not. But I think growing up now, having a mind of my own, exploring the world the way that I see it, I think some people are in your life for a season, and I think if there are good things that you might have learned from that, it's very good to hold on to them, hold on to the memories, not to dwell in them, but for you to take the good and also pass it on to the next one. And this might also be about a talking stage because going through this whole pandemic, I'm pretty sure there are people who've been in relationships and out because so much has been going on. So I think it kind of reflects both sides, the talking stages and a foundation, a relationship with the foundation which just expired. So I really like this one because it really reflects on so many people. And her poetry, at the back, she says that it is a poetic expression of the grief, sadness, and loneliness we go through as people. It tells stories of heartbreak, the parent-child relationship, and a bit of introspection. It's also there as comfort, so it's not just you who goes through these things. You are not alone. So it's an African contemporary collection aimed to make the reader feel. So I personally felt something with this one. and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So on to the next chapter. Chapter number 2 is the rivers you cry from the soul. So this is more to do with the soul, the inner part of you. And my favorite was Grinch. So I'm going to read Grinch. We are the fights within us, the constant turmoil, self-doubt, pity, and God knows whatever else demons we face. Tame them as we may, they see the joy in us. They creep up slowly, they subdue it, drown it, kill it. The rays become grim and we become green. So this is talking more on the depression side. Like depression at times, it makes us feel like we don't deserve to be happy. It's like you always have to be gloomy, you always have to be like in this great cloud which you cannot come out of. And even if you like find a small window where you like feeling joyful, it kind of has that way of attacking it and drowning you back. And for some people, they actually find that is a comfort zone, that place of just being sad, the place of just being dreadful, because they've kind of gotten accustomed to it. But I think I'm always for self-awareness. It's very good for you to like know and understand when you go through these stages. I also have these stages. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was really in a bad place. I didn't feel like doing anything. I was just feeling there, nothing was really making sense. It was like everything was disarray. But I think sometimes we can be too much in our own head and then we battle ourselves, because I think at times the greatest enemy is yourself, because you talk yourself in and talk yourself out. You tell yourself you're not good enough, you tell yourself maybe this is not for you, this is for them. I had that mentality of thinking that certain things were not for me, like good things were not for me, they were meant for other people. But I'm so glad, like I'm divorcing myself. I really had to quickly do it because it was really hindering me from so many opportunities. I just felt like, this is not for me, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not pretty enough, maybe I'm not, all those insecurities were just jumping out. But I'm so glad, like through my faith, and also me trying to like know myself better, I'm actually getting out of that place, like sitting in that place. I'm actually visiting once in a while. But it's good, it's very good to have self-awareness. So it's very good, like sometimes you can actually be your worst enemy. You can be the Grinch in your life, and it also spurs out, and then you start like attacking people, and you also start making other people miserable. Like misery loves company. But I really enjoyed this, and it really encourages, or for me, what I'm getting from this is like what not to do. It's more of like for me to go the other way, and I really enjoyed it. It's a very good poem when it comes to self-awareness. So last but not least is the rivers we cry from the filial bond. So a filial bond is more like a kinship. It's like a parent-child kind of bond relationship. And the one which I liked was initiation. So it's quite short, but it's very spot on and detailed. And initiation reads, "Your words left me raw, said this is how a thick skin is grown. 'Twas supposed to teach me, show me how to make it. Guess it was the lesser evil. Initiated me into this thing called life." So from my guess, this is a child speaking up about how they were raised, how their parents would tell them things so that they were preparing them for the world, And I have come to have a different opinion when it comes to this, because I believe sometimes, emphasis on the sometimes, parents are actually the children's first bullies. I think it's a reality we might have to face. I'm not saying all parents, or I'm not saying everyone, but at times I think in the name of trying to toughen you up or to make you have thick skin, we actually slowly break your child's spirit, because children are different. There are others who are more mellow, there are others who are very sensitive, and there's nothing wrong with that. People are different, and I think this whole thing of trying to toughen you up, it's good, but I think it's very important to actually watch yourself when you do it and how you say it. One of my favorite people who I've seen raise her child in a way I would like to raise my children is Nyakubaya-Nhevera. She's the lady who wrote it's a book about Shona and Debel in English, so it's like teaching your child to be multilingual. And I like how she has those days when she's talking about how do you talk to your child, then she gives the age range of how you're supposed to talk to your child, how you're supposed to encourage them, how you tell them how they're not supposed to do something. Because I believe like at times we think like snapping at kids or being quite aggressive or strict is the right way, but I actually do not subscribe to that. I know I'm not a parent yet, but I've seen how it actually breaks kids' spirits, you know. So I think we could find another way to like make them ready for the world, you know, slowly but surely, in a kinder way, because charity begins at home. What they see within the house is what they're going to do outside. So I think it's very, very important to learn to speak to your children like in a loving manner, and also to lovingly teach them the right ways. Like, for example, God, the way that he teaches us, the way that he toughens us up, it's not by means of like always threatening us or trying to like punish us in a very hard way. Obviously, like God gives you a warning first, but it's not like a warning that is a threat, you know. But I feel like as parents, they can also adopt that. I'm hoping to adopt that too for my kids, you know, because I don't want them to like, you know, for me to be the first bully. I just think it's not very good, you know. I think they need to like have people who talk to them in a very nice way. Of course, the world is not always going to be kind, but at least they'll know when they come back home, they have a shoulder to cry on, they have someone to hold them, tell them that everything is okay. So this one was my favorite, and this is what I learned from them. And I think with all this whole thing of toughening up, we always end up thinking that life has to be hard all the time, which I don't think is always the case. Because most people, they believe that if you work for something, if it comes easily, it's not worth it. Sometimes good things happen to good people. This is something I'm also learning myself. Sometimes good things will happen to you just like that, you know, and there's no need to think that maybe it's from the devil or maybe you don't deserve it. You're a good person and you deserve it. So just accept and receive it and enjoy it. I think this is something that most people have to learn, myself included, of course, to actually believe that some things do come easy and it's okay to embrace them, and that we don't have to make things hard for ourselves. I think as Africans, as Zimbabweans, sometimes we think like for something to be worth it, it has to be hard. It might be love, it might be a job, it might be anything. If it just happens, then we start assuming that why was it so easy? But things happen, like especially like, for example, if you've been praying for it and then it happens and then you're questioning, oh, why so quickly, you know. But good things do happen. You're a good person and you really, really deserve for good things to happen to you. So that's it for today. I really enjoyed this. Life lessons, I think this should probably go under life lessons, to be honest, like a self-help poetry book. I hope that's a thing. If not, it might actually become a thing. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and if you want to talk more about the book, by all means comment. I'll get back to you and we can talk about the book. So until next time, thank you so much. Goodbye.